Mr. Chairman.
The chair recognizes the city messenger.
May I present the Mayor of Malden, the Honorable Gary Christensen, former mayors and invited guests to the convention.
Please admit the Honorable Mayor Gary Christensen and his invited guest to the convention. To lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, I'm pleased to welcome Malden Boy and Girl Scouts. Please stand.
But I did observe firsthand how hard he worked to improve the Malden Public Schools. He worked tirelessly for our students and school staff, and his efforts to make better use of technology continue to benefit us today. And Joe's dedication didn't stop at the schools. From Maple Fest to Halloween to the Caribbean Festival to so many other events, Joe was always there, lending his time and energy to building a sense of community. His quiet leadership and genuine care have also left a lasting mark. As we welcome Peter Piazza and Michelle Lamont, I can tell them that if they are looking for a roadmap on how to serve, just look at these two individuals. Greg and Joe did everything with a sole purpose, and that was to make Malden a better place for all. We are facing many challenges: economic uncertainty, housing insecurity, climate change impacts, barriers to health care, and so many rising costs for families. These weigh heavily on us, but I am also reminded of what has always defined us as a community: resiliency, unity, and hope. That is why tonight is not just about one person or one office. It's about all of us: the mayor's office, the city council, the school committee, and our entire community. We will not always agree, but when we work together, there is no challenge too great for our city. The road will not be easy, but our commitment is strong. I am once again reminded of our city's motto, and I am firm in the belief that our strong past will give us strength, while our proud future gives us hope. Thank you, and again, Happy New Year.
State Senator Jason Lewis. State Representative Paul Donato. State Representative Steve Otrino. The Honorable Edward C. Lucy. Police Commissioner Bob Murphy. And Malden School Superintendent, Timothy Seven. Well, you're on the stage, but you're on the list. He's not on the list.
Okay, well, go Greg!
Malden High Choral Arts will now perform for us.
To the students of the Malden Public Schools for the past 6 years. Mr. Gray has represented Ward 6 with unwavering commitment and genuine care during his time on the school committee. From Maplewood Square to every corner of Ward 6, he has shown up consistently, thoughtfully, and always with the community at the center of his work. Joe's service was shaped not just by a sense of civic responsibility, but by lived experience. As a parent who proudly raised his children through the Malden Public Schools, Joe brought a voice grounded in real family experiences. He often spoke about those years with honesty, pride, and perspective, reminding us that the decisions we make at this table have real impact on our students and families. And when we say Mr. Gray showed up, we truly mean it. Joe was dedicated to attending every meeting, even when life or work got in the way. If he couldn't be here in person, he'd find a way, and that sometimes meant logging in remotely from a highway rest stop on his way home from work, determined to be present, participate, and make sure his community's voice was still heard. That level of commitment speaks volumes. We'll also miss another unmistakable part of Mr. Gray's legacy, his signature blue sweatshirt. It became a familiar and comforting sight. Joe in his hoodie, ready to get to work. It perfectly reflected his leadership style, approachable, authentic, and focused on substance over show. But if you ask anyone who served with Joe, they won't just talk about policies or votes, they'll talk about the fun that he's brought to the room. Joe reminded us that education is about people first, that leadership can be thoughtful, passionate, and still fun. Meetings with Joe were never just meetings, they were conversations filled with humor and a reminder not to take ourselves too seriously while doing serious work. So when we speak of fun, we have to talk about holidays. Mr. Gray's holiday spirit is legendary. His enthusiasm for the season and his complete willingness to dress for the part made him impossible to miss. Whether Joe was showing up as Santa at committee meetings or embracing festive flair at community events, he didn't just celebrate the holidays, he helped all of us feel them. Those moments weren't just funny, they mattered. They brought laughter and reminded us why community connection is so important. Mr. Gray helped us feel joy together, and that's not a small thing. Through his dedication to Ward 6, his deep roots to the Maplewood community, his advocacy for students, and his ability to bring people together, whether from the committee table or a rest stop parking lot, Mr. Gray has left a lasting mark on Malden. So Joe, thank you for your years of service, your thoughtful leadership, your humor, your hoodie, and the countless smiles you've shared with colleagues and constituents. Our schools, our community are stronger because of you, so we wish you all the very best in what comes next. And Joe, once a Santa, always a Santa. Would also like to apparently show a few more trees of his citations.
On this day, the city of Malden thanks Joe Gregg for his 6 years of dedicated service to the Malden School Committee. Known as the member who was always cool, calm, and collected, Joe made sure that those qualities were used to support the needs of the Malden Public Schools, especially when it came to the use of technology. But it wasn't just the committee that Joe was passionate about, as he was also involved with several annual community events, including Bugle Fest, Halloween, and the Caribbean Festival. These fun-filled events brought the community together, creating a sense of belonging and inclusion. Again, we thank Joe for his service and for the difference he has made in our schools and for the community.
Okay, I don't have anything prepared. So you know what? I'm just gonna riff you for about a minute. About 15 years ago, I got into politics the hard way. I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't know anything, no experience, zero. But a lot of stuff was going on wrong in the city. We had experienced a crime wave. We had trouble in the schools. School buildings were falling apart. Blah, 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 blah. There were civic issues with building in City Hall. And my wife and I didn't know who to turn to. So one day I picked up the phone and I called some no-name guy on the other side of town, a little old city councilor named Gary Christensen. Gary was gracious enough to help me and my wife Russian, who knew nothing. I provided the energy, Gary provided the authority, and the two of us tag team City Hall and the City Council on various issues. I remember one time, there was an issue with problems in the schools. This is while I was a parent. There was $500,000 on the table that we could get to repair the school buildings so children wouldn't get hurt. So my children wouldn't get hurt in the buildings. I fought and I fought, and people thought I was crazy. Why am I single-handedly taking on the entire city council by myself? I said, well, why are you helping me? I did it anyways, and we won. Battle after battle, Gary stood by us, he helped us, he encouraged us, and I took off. Just like a helicopter parent on steroids, I followed my children through the school system. Because it wasn't just, it was beyond the PTO for me, just to know what was happening. The site council at Malden High, PTO meetings. I attended every city council meeting, every city council subcommittee meeting for a while, every school committee meeting, every school committee subcommittee meeting for a while. I was that odd little black guy, just annoying everybody in City Hall. Back before we had such a thing as security, I'd come home after work, head straight to City Hall, walk into the superintendent's office at the time, unannounced, no appointment, and talk his ears off. Because I wanted stuff done. And then when I decided to run for office, I decided I was going to be a role model. I was going to be a symbol. Didn't know what I was doing, but I had beliefs, and I had a great team to work with. I worked a lot with various city councilors. One of my early mentors was former councilor Neil Anderson. I watched him dress up as Santa, sitting around the city. I said, I can do that. How hard could it be to city councilor? I worked with various school committee members. I worked with the current team, and we got things done. It wasn't always easy. Being an elected official isn't always easy. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we get in each other's faces and argue. But at the end of the day, we get stuff done for the residents and for the children. It's all about the children. Now that my children have graduated and moved on, what's happening in the schools. Thankfully, our new superintendent, Dr. Timothy Sipple, doesn't have to put up with it. He's in now that my crazy years were over and I've calmed down as each of my children graduated. So he's gotten to see the easy, mellow side of me, of the crazy guy who can show up every day and demand things get done. Dr. Sipple is going to do a great job. I believe in him. You know, we've had our ups, we've had our downs with superintendents, but now I think with the current city council working together hand in hand with our current school committee, we're going to get things done. You know, so I was going to